Hi everyone, Sam Rathmeyer here with the Wednesday Night Wine Club. This is the red wine video for December 2021. Let's get into it. All right everyone, very excited to get into the red wine for this month. This is Domaine Leccia from the vintage 2018 Patrimonio. This is from the island of Corsica. Corsica has a very interesting relationship to France because it is actually technically much closer to Italy, but it is part of France. But if you were to go to Corsica and talk about how they're French, they would be deeply offended because they are not French, they're Corsican. Very similar to the way that I think about almost everyone that lives in the US is a US citizen except for people from Alabama. It's a totally different world, it exists in a totally different plane, and I can't understand them most of the time when they speak. All right, now let's get into the grape variety. It's a very odd grape variety that is found really nowhere else in the world. It is called nee-a-loo-chi-o. It's one of the oddest spellings. We're going to put that down here. Again, Corsica, what the hell? Kind of like Alabama, what the hell? So nee-a-loo-chi-o, they think could be a genetic clone to Sangiovese, which you find is, Chianti Classico, Brunello, found everywhere in Italy. That it's either a genetic mutated clone that got taken there in the 13th or 14th century, or it's an indigenous variety that originated on the island. There are a lot of similarities between nee-a-loo-chi-o and Sangiovese. The tart cherry notes that you get, but where it kind of diverges from that is that this has this rustic Mediterranean quality to it that really is only found on island wines. And the grippiness, the tannin structure that's in this wine, very similar to Sangiovese. It makes it a phenomenal food pairing wine, as well as mouth-watering acidity. And even with being in an island that is so warm, the warmer the climate that you're in can tend to be the lower acidity that you find in wine. This retains a ton of acidity, totally makes your mouth water, and is fantastic. And so think about that, 4,000 acres making this wine for the entire world. And because it's an island, you cannot continue to plant more and more vines. You run out of space. The nature of this wine and how it's made, it will always be limited and there will never be enough for everybody. I know what you're thinking, enough talking, more tasting. Let's get into that. Okay, now I mentioned a little bit the flavor profiles. On the nose, you definitely getting this black cherry, red cherry, it's perfumed, that rosemary, purple flower. This is a really pretty wine, but it has a little bit of that rusticity to it. And I think of these wines as more being angular rather than round. Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, those wines can be round, voluptuous. This is more curves, angles. Let's taste. There's so much acid in this wine. It's crazy. So think about this. There's a little bit of a strawberry note that I'm getting. And when you talk in terms of strawberries, everyone's had that underripe strawberry that is a total disappointment. And then on the opposite end of that scale is the strawberry that is mushy at the bottom, it's almost too sweet. This wine hits right in that middle where you've got the acid and the sweetness of a strawberry combined. That's what this wine has. This is very well balanced. And if you were going to have pizza, this would work. If you're having lamb, grilled lamb, this would work. A lot of possibilities here. I personally would drink this when you're getting those warmer California nights that inevitably always happen during the holiday season, and when you're grilling. These wines go hand in hand with grill, and that smokiness that you get on the nose as well as the palate, those grilled meats are really going to help pull that out as well. As a side note, important fact, this wine is produced with organic viticulture. It is manually harvested. You are not getting any of the bugs or animals in the wine. So a lot of attention to detail, and that is also remarkable considering how little wine is produced, that they would go into that much care and attention rather than just trying to mass produce something and make the most amount of money possible. All right, everyone, I hope you enjoy the wine as much as I do. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Cheers.